not forget what they did, not pretend it didn't hurt, not force reconciliation. There's a big difference between being passive and being assertive in protecting your peace, your inner sovereignty, and your energy.
Hey beautiful, welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey. This is your weekly sanctuary for waking up from autopilot and transforming the way you approach life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It is my mission to help you heal unprocessed emotions and release stuck energies by alchemizing your struggle cycles into opportunities for deep self-love, awareness, trust, and connection, to return to your innate essence of being, stepping back into your energy of alignment. Because here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light, embodying all parts that make you, you. So if you are ready to get to the root of cultivating real change, get cozy, grab your journal and maybe favorite crystals, and let's discover our power within together.
Welcome back, fam, to the Naturally Empowered Living podcast. Welcome back. What a month away it has been. I don't know about you. I hope that you've had a wonderful holiday, wonderful start to the new calendar year, and it's honestly felt like eons have passed since our last episode together. If that says anything about how life has been over on this end of the mic. It has been a beautiful chaos with a lot of things thrown into the mix, let's just say. But we have really, it's felt like a gravitron, you know, that carnival ride where you're pushed up against the wall and everything's spinning so fast around you. But imagine everything spinning so fast around you, but being in the center of that gravitron. So a center of a cyclone or a tornado. Just really, the intentions within our family have been really harnessing that presence and really harnessing just that connection because of life is lifing. Life has been lifing, and time truly has been doing her own thing. Things have just been going so fast lately. And I'm so thankful to be back. I'm so thankful to be back. So thankful to be just behind the mic again and to bring this grounded peace and presence energy through the microphone to you. So hey, hi, how are you really? Really, really. I hope that through the chaos and through the beautiful storms of your life, whatever you have going on, that you are still able to see the light and be the light. And maybe not in those moments, but to always know bigger picture, just the power of being and the power of your presence is truly so, so powerful. So this is your host, guide, and mentor in all things energetics, emotions, and self-awakening, Jenna Smith. And I hope that you had a blessed and intuitive and clear and smooth as possible flow into 2026. Whoop, whoop. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Just January to me has always felt like residue. That sounds terrible to say. But it's an integrative month. But then on the flip side, it's this beautiful new beginning because both my kids' birthdays are in January. So it's this blossoming into what the new year is. Their birthdays, ironically, are at the end of the month. So it's just this residue integrative month, really just feeling into this wintering flow, right? Because we're still in those months. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, there's all these feels and just, that integration into the new year. And then my kids' birthdays are that pinpoint of where it's bam, here we are, let's go. So if you felt like you've been just picking up the pieces, or it took you forever, quote unquote, forever to get into the swing or to get going or to transition or whatever those feels are for you, it's because we do need time to transition, okay? We do need time to slow down. And if you don't intentionally take it, you will be forced to through illness, through, we don't need to go into that, right? But you will take that time, and maybe just not in the way that you thought it would be or should be or wanted it to be. We need time to integrate. We need time to rest. We need time to let go, however and whatever that looks like for you. So with all of that, I think today's episode will land beautifully, keeping all of this in mind. Because I'm pretty sure I mentioned before our break that personally, like, I was getting so many downloads on my lessons for the upcoming year and all these things that I was going to learn, in 2026 before I normally like sit down to like really channel or like go through my New Year goals and like all that hoopla, right? It was pretty comical to say the least, because like my human self was like, no, I'm not ready. This is like the beginning of December. Like I can't even fathom this. We have holidays. There's so much stuff going on right now. And like, Soul Jenna was like, nope, here we are. Like, let's do this. So I didn't think I was consciously ready to receive what this new year was going to be. But we all know, God, life source, whatever language resonates with you, has a plan that is always for our highest good. Always. And when we're quiet enough and humbled enough to allow that flow, to allow to listen, we truly listen. And my original plan for this episode was to share all of the lessons. Like I wanted to like get down into the nitty, get into the depth of like all these ahas, the epiphanies, the ego bruises, the tenderness of like, holy shit, like we're going here this year. And I absolutely could, like without shame. I know that it's not like the transparency piece, but we'd be here for hours. And as much as I love bringing you into my world, right? Into my world, sharing my heart, being that transparent, the vulnerability, all those things. Like I will always be open and honest and transparent with what I'm going through. Like, spoiler for next week's episode. I also always want to leave you with something that you can take with you. Like this energetic exchange. Yes, here's a story, here's a welcoming, here's an open door into my life. But what can you take out of this after listening? So I decided that we're going to zoom in on one very specific lesson today, because this one has been very loud, very repetitive. Hello, like repeating patterns, right? And woven through literally everything that I touched in December, in January. It showed up like in personal channeling. It showed up in the content that I was creating for the new year, in the way that I was being guided to support the Naturally Empowered Living community, the meditation library, like all of these things. I later realized like, oh, all these dots are like connecting to the same core thing. And ding, ding, like it was one of the lessons that like came to me, like that this was going to be happening, right? So of course, when all this finally connected, it was just so divine. And like, that is the power of being, to be able to see not only like the fruits of your labor, quote, but just to be able to see the signs or to feel the signs or to see kind of this divine orchestration flowing of what we call our human experience. So if you've ever had like the universe send you the same message over and over and over again through maybe different people or songs or cards, conversations, whatever, something that you read, just the energy, you know what I'm talking about, just like that energy of like you keep seeing or feeling the same thing. And you might not connect the dots at first, but when you finally see it or feel it or have that inner knowing, you're like, oh, I get it. I get it now. Thank you. Like just divine humor, right? So, okay, what is the lesson for this episode? It's forgiveness. Forgiveness. And minimizing judgments and gossip. Like we are all human, right? But for me, it was really just like that umbrella of forgiveness, judgments, gossip, and like, whew, this is tender. This one really stretches the ego, opens it wide open, really asks us to look within ourselves. And I've really learned to almost like emotionally detach from like being mad, like, oh, this is a lesson, or like getting mad at myself, like, oh shit, like I've done XYZ or whatever that might be. Like I've been able to really discern between getting mad at whatever lesson exists, right? Yeah, they may sting. Yeah, they may be uncomfortable, but we're not being punished, right? If this is coming up for you, there is a reason. And the reason is for your highest good. It's for your evolution. It's for your learning, for your growth, for your being. And we're always invited deeper into our expansion of our full soul's expression. So this now brings me to this annual ritual that I do, at the end of the year, this year, but typically that I do in January. It just happened so much sooner this past year. But the reason I'm sharing this is because there's such another divine breadcrumb. And I'm sharing this because, again, when we slow down enough to listen, we truly listen and we have those ahas and we let the clarity and those breakthroughs in. So something that I do every year is I pull 2 different oracle angel cards for the year. I do this every year. And one's like for present and future, let's just say. So one specific archangel that I pulled was the same card that I pulled back in 2022. Whole deck of cards. And at first, it doesn't seem that wild. But we only use this deck once a year. My whole family. We use the same deck, but we only use this deck once a year. It's like our annual ritual. So I pulled this angel in 2022. My son pulled the same archangel card last year. And at this point, it's like, okay, universe, I see you. We're not pretending to not see these coincidences, anymore. What is coincidence, right? Everything's divine. Divine orchestration. But this Archangel Lavender, is about forgiveness. And mind you, I already wrote down my lessons for the year, okay? So when I pulled this card, I'm like, oh my gosh, just the humor behind it. Okay, I see you. I see you. Instantly, my mind went back to, the month prior when I was writing down all these lessons about forgiveness, minimizing judgments, and gossip. And then it jumped back to when I pulled this card in 2022. And naturally, I went back to my journal and all the things about forgiveness and letting go and surrender. That was a big piece of my journey in 2022, was that art of discernment and surrender. So same message, 2 different avenues, completely aligned. So I want to read the excerpt of this angel oracle card directly from the card, okay? It says, choosing this card indicates that you are ready to bring back the gifts, talents, and wisdom that you have earned on your soul journey. In order to do so, forgive everyone and everything that has hurt you in this life or another. If you feel hurt or angry with someone, even though it may seem justified, ask yourself, how long am I prepared to hold on to these emotions? A lifetime? 10 lifetimes? Let go now so you can purify your soul star chakra. Strengthen your intention by affirming, I forgive everyone and everything that has ever hurt or harmed me in this lifetime or any other. And then allow Archangel Lavender to use her wisdom to help anyone who is blocking you to now release you. And immediately after reading that card, I heard the whisper, forgive others to ascend. Not forget what they did, not pretend it didn't hurt, not force reconciliation. There's a big difference between being passive and being assertive in protecting your peace, your inner sovereignty, and your energy. So this message that came to me immediately after reading that card was forgive others to ascend. Simply release the energetic attachment so you can rise. Forgiveness to me is not about excusing behavior. It's not about accepting what someone did to you or that forcing of the reconciliation. It doesn't mean that you have to go back to being besties, right? It's about allowing yourself to free yourself, to free your frequency, to free that energetic hold. That whatever happened or whatever that is for you, you're able to release it, to process it, to come back into your wholeness and not allow it to have that hold and that control over you anymore. So now to wrap all of these like ahas, epiphanies in with a bow, right? To wrap this all in a bow, I want to share my word for the year, which is lucidity. This is not just a clarity of expression, even though that's what lucidity means, but I see it as merging the unseen and the seen also. Like being able to merge the subconscious with the conscious, the dream world with the waking world, bringing soul level embodiment to earth and human reality. And of course, Archangel Lavender is all about the dream wisdom. The synchronicities just continue, right? Like, oh my gosh, I even looked into, I love doing this. I love looking back at old journal entries. And I found an old Akashic Records reading that I had. I printed and stuck it inside a random book, ironically, that I pulled out. I pulled out this book. It was actually a journal. I pulled out this journal to put it by my bedside to start dream journaling. And it had my Akashic Records in this journal. And I started reading it and I completely missed it at the time of the reading. But this year, I found that message again and I was finally ready to hear it. Like this divine orchestration of guiding me to that random printed email that I stuck inside a random journal that my squirrel brain randomly drugged me towards after some, meditation of reflection. Here's your little note. So this is what I want to leave you with now in closing of this episode, because I had these epiphanies. I had these warm, fuzzy tingles, inside, to know just that divine orchestration. I geek out over signs and synchronicities, if you can't tell. So here is your invitation to take with you after this episode. Is number 1, slow down enough. Slow down just enough to notice the divine orchestrations happening around you. Nothing is random. Nothing is ever wasted. Having hope, belief, faith, something bigger than you is not being naive. Bringing in the energetic woo-woo, right? That faith of something bigger than yourself with the science. That's learning a nervous system level safety. Knowing it's safe to surrender. Knowing it's safe to trust your own inner wisdom, your intuition, your soul level truth. That's the power of being, of embodiment. Keeping you open to possibilities that your mind might not be able to comprehend. Trust me, there's so many things where I was like, how the hell did that just happen? My mind can't even digest what happened, but that's when your body knows. That's what I'm talking, the tingles. It's that inner knowing, that feel-good feeling, that ability to let go and surrender when your mind is still on overdrive or trying to make sense of it. And here's your second invitation. The ones that personally my guides have been lovingly, persistently bringing forward, is to take this lesson of forgiveness to ascend personally for your next level of freedom. Where can you possibly release resentments you've been carrying on like armor? Where can you possibly let go of judgments of yourself, of others, of the past? Again, not to force reconciliation or erase what happened, but to set your energy free, to flow freely again. Forgiveness is saying, I no longer am willing to let this live rent-free in myself. I choose to rise, I choose to feel, I choose to release, I choose a new feeling of safety. I choose to ascend. In your third invitation, I don't want to add anything more to your to-do list. But did you pick a word for the year? It started off as just so woo-woo to me, but now it's I forget if I picked my word first or if the lesson started coming first to me, but I feel like whatever I do first the next thing just like reaffirms. And then the next thing just reaffirms between the lessons, the word for the year, pulling the oracle cards. I feel like that same thing happened last year. I chose my word and then I chose my oracle cards, and that was the angel of abundance. I was like, oh my gosh. So it's, again, like I geek out over this stuff, but like nothing is random. Nothing is coincidence. So I invite you to allow this episode to land however and wherever it needs to land for you. And one final plug before we sign off. If you're craving structure for your energy, you kind of feel like this beautiful chaos, or maybe it's not even beautiful chaos, maybe it's just chaos. And you just need a sense of structure, or for your seasons, like you just feel so like all over the place. Or your intentions, you can't find that clarity. Maybe your rituals need a little tune-up. I created the My Energy of Alignment Journal. That's your space to integrate all of this into real life. They're live on Amazon. And y'all, like we've sold out 3 times now since they went live on Amazon. I am just beside myself. So I'll link that Amazon link to the journal in the show notes below. And if you're local, swing by to Rooted Collective 201 on South Main Street in Blanchardville. They are also being sold there. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to smack my desk, but I always talk with my hands. January has been such a deep creative cave for me. It like as I'm like laughing because I'm like, with all the other things that went on, I can't believe that I was still able to have that self-connection, right? Even when shit is hitting the fan and things keep getting thrown at you, you could still protect your self-connection. And yes, I pulled back from a few things like this podcast to make space for things to land, to have that creative outlet for me. So spoiler, a lot of meditations are coming to the Soul Awakening Meditation Library, with a self-forgiveness meditation and a forgiving others meditation to be the first 2 to drop. So excited. Yay. So until next week, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. I'm sending my love and so much light.
Did you find this episode free or empowering? Please read my review. Tickle, boop.
Thank you for spending this sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. If this episode brought you closer to stepping into your energy of alignment, I'd love for you to leave a written review and share how this show has supported your journey. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps others find the space of transformation. And sharing it with someone who might need it spreads the ripple of healing even further. Be sure to check the show notes for ways to connect with me and explore personalized healing sessions and mentorships to deepen your self-awakening journey. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.